It's a crash! No, it's a recession! Well, whatever it is, the housing market is acting pretty bizarre, and not a lot of us know what or how to describe it. Some experts say that the housing market crash is already here. The signs pointed to are that housing inventory is rapidly increasing, but mortgage rates are spiking so high that not many are incentivized to borrow. To add insult to injury, on top of that, home prices have continued to climb up. A report done by Realtor.com in June showed that the average listing price for a single-family home was around $450,000. That's up more than 31% from the same time in 2020. Not a lot of average middle-class families can afford a $500,000 home, so it's no surprise that buyers are bailing out of the unstable housing market. Mortgage applications have also dropped to their lowest levels at the end of June earlier this year. The madness doesn't stop there. The fluctuation seen in the housing market is the result of several factors long in the making. Right now, the economy is proving to be an oxymoron. On one side, we are seeing the job market explode with very low unemployment levels, and on the other side, we have seen signs of a slowing economy as the gross domestic product, GDP, has slumped for 2 consecutive quarters. This was once used as the textbook definition of a recession. However, the updated definition says otherwise. The Mortgage Bankers Association are yet to make a final judgment on the call for recession, but right now they're saying that there's a 50-50 chance of the US entering one over the next year. So how did it get to all this? How does this housing market bubble implicate the likelihood of a recession? Should we be scrambling to buy or sell now? There are a lot more questions that we're going to dive deep into, so make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a beat in this ever-changing market. Let's jump right in. Are house prices going to drop? The market usually rides certain trends, taking it up and down the chart, so much so that it might make sense to try and time the market, to get in while it's good. If you find yourself in that camp, many housing insiders will caution against that gamble. With the economy shrouded in mystery, there's too much uncertainty to try to leave it to chance. When making a giant financial decision, a decision that will probably be the most costly decision of your life, it's important to decide depending on your current situation or circumstance. What is your buyer motivation? Is waiting a viable option? We need to keep one eye on the housing market and the other on the economy. That may be hard to do with the economy demanding so much of our attention, as it's racked by inflation, record high gas prices, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, semiconductor shortage, and COVID. The one shining beacon of hope in the entire economy was the housing market, but it looks like even that is up for grabs as the Fed hikes interest rates, making it more challenging for buyers to afford housing. According to Steve Simmons, founder of October Real Estate, there will be 2 camps of buyers and sellers. One where there is panic in the uncertainty of interest rates and will decide to sit and wait. They're the ones who are going to try and ride this wave out. The other camp mentioned is also panicked, only their gut reaction will be to hurry up and buy or sell now before the situation gets a whole lot worse. So far, the trajectory of existing home sales has been dropping for the 6th consecutive month this year, but the cost of homes is at record highs. Data from the National Association of Realtors reveals that the average sales price of a home has gone up 13.4% from last year. The median cost of a home as of this month is pushing $500,000. Indications are that home prices aren't going to be dropping anytime shortly. Vanishing affordable housing. So what's causing affordable housing to disappear? Well, for starters, how about high inflation, high mortgage rates, and extremely high home prices? We're living through the highest inflation the US has seen in the last 40 years. There was a 9.1% increase in inflation, but sadly, the increase in wages fell short at only a slight increase of 6.7%. The average American is seeing their buying power vanish. Not only that, but according to Zillow, the typical monthly mortgage payment is up 75% from 2019. Refinancing isn't an option with the amount of interest being stacked onto loans. Every aspect of the housing market is taking a hit, and a lot of those in the real estate business are starting to worry. Should you buy a home? Okay, so it might be challenging for many Americans to squeeze their budgets and afford a new home, but for some, buying is the only option. According to a report on Realtor.com, prices are remaining high. However, inventory is beginning to rise. The forecast made for housing inventory at the beginning of the year started at 0.3%, but is currently being predicted to jump to 15%. What that means is that buyers will have many houses to choose from. Home prices will go up, but so will your options too. More and more homeowners are looking to take advantage of the favorable market conditions for house prices and use that added equity to seek another housing option. If you're looking for choices, now might be the time to shop. Know this, it doesn't matter if the market is in optimal shape or in shambles. Buying a home is a very personal decision. Above everything, you gotta be in a solid, safe, and secure financial position before jumping into the housing market. Many economists agree that trying to roll the dice on the timing of the market isn't the best financial strategy. Any major financial decision should be based on your needs as well as what you can fit into your budget. You might find a home that you fall in love with that checks all the boxes on location, rooms, garage, and budget. Hey, that might be the right home for you. You want to be sure that you're not having to sacrifice everything for the home you want. Making a rash decision when it comes to buying a home will most likely leave you with a housing hangover. That said, you might be able to save more money down the line if you jump right out and grab a house on sale now. Locking in a rate now before further increase could save you tens of thousands of dollars. But remember, there's no predicting the timing of this housing market. Experts are saying that there seems to be a perfect storm brewing. There's tight housing in the foreseeable future for home buyers. In today's market, many of us are faced with tough choices every day. Buyers today are in a pickle. New home construction is lagging due to supply chain issues and the high cost of lumber, and prices are predicted to continue to rise. Actually, after reviewing the data, maybe the best financial strategy would be to flip a coin after all. Stagflation. Prices have gotten so high that a lot of buyers have decided to move away from big cities and into more affordable homes out in the suburbs. Many more have also had to compromise on size and comforts to stretch their budget to the max. Some buyers are even skipping home inspections to further drop the price. That's a move that will most likely end up costing you some major problems in the future. This housing bubble isn't only causing headaches for home buyers and sellers, but the economy as a whole is also taking a huge hit. David Dworkin, CEO of the National Housing Conference, reported saying, "If we fail to address shortages in housing supply, we run the risk of fueling the fires of inflation rather than extinguishing them. The result could be stagflation, a word most of us haven't used in a generation. High inflation and economic recession." He continued by saying, "This would devastate the housing economy and only exacerbate our current housing supply challenges." So what's the next move? Out of all this uncertainty and doubt, there's one thing that is for sure. The housing market is slowing down. Now, does that mean we're headed for a massive correction or a massive crash? Only time will tell.